what makes the girl worthy of a high value guy?
Okay. I think that depends on, the guy you ask, but probably a general consensus would be how she carries herself in public, how she presents herself. Is she classy, or is she out here in the streets, making twerking videos with every rapper out there?
Okay.
Or, is she somebody who, she has her life together, she presents herself very well, she has respect for herself, kind of like, you said before, she's not out in the streets,
Yeah.
Most six-figure guys want a girl that, if you're making six figures, you probably have a lot of eyes on you. You got people watching, you have people competing with you.
Mm-hmm.
You're probably an entrepreneur. So, they don't want somebody they probably don't want somebody who's going to bring, as terrible as it sounds, kind of like baggage with them. Like, oh, hey, you're dating a girl. I heard she, hooked up with, so-and-so, every Tom, Dick, and Harry. And it's just certain things, and then you got to consider the looks. Do you look good enough for, a six-figure guy? And maybe he's not all about looks, but most guys who are making six figures, they want a girl that's going to turn everybody's head. Just takes care of herself. She, keeps herself maintenance, just all that good stuff.
Okay.
And then that's probably just general. Now I could be,
No, that was a good answer. Mike, good. Let's go with Crystal. What would you say? So a high value guy, what would you say? What makes a girl worthy of a high value? Oh, actually, it's going to be a two-pronged question. Let's go back to you, Dally.
Okay.
So since you described what makes a girl worthy of a high value guy, do you think that you are worthy of a high value guy?
Okay. Do I think I'm worthy of a high value guy?
Yeah, those things that you explained, do you think that you're worthy of a high value guy? Do you think that those things are within you that you explained?
Of course, I personally think I think I'm worth whatever, I think I am. But do I think a guy that makes six figures, do I think he would I be his type? Probably not.
Okay.
Because I don't think I would. And for me, myself personally, I would not say that, oh, I'm not worthy. I'm not going to, dog myself like that. But I will be honest, and I will say I don't think that I would be somebody who, makes that kind of money. I don't think I'd be their type.
All right. It's you're honest. That's your opinion. Okay, cool. Let's move it on to Crystal. So the question again, Crystal. What makes a girl worthy of a high value guy? And then what you explain, then the next question would be, are you worthy of a high value guy?
I feel like she really hit the nail on the head. Like, she kind of described everything I was kind of thinking about too.
Any other things maybe that she missed that you were thinking of?
I feel like high value men date to marry. They don't date just to date someone. Like, they'll sit there, they'll have conversations, they'll talk to you, but I feel like they're very quick to be like, this isn't it, instead of kind of like progressing something that they don't feel off the bat.
Okay, that's an interesting statement. Hey, Mike, is she loud enough? Mm-hmm. She is? Okay, cool. So you said that you think that high value guys, you can throw the camera back on me, Mike. You think that high value guys date to marry instead of dating to, just hook up.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Interesting. Let me just give a rebuttal to that. I would say 100% incorrect. But the reason why I would say 100% incorrect is because I see what you're saying, though. I get the logic. I get what you're saying. All guys are similar. You know what I mean? The low value guys and the high value guys. At the end of the day, when men look at women, the first instinct is sex, right? So like a bum on the street and a billionaire, we look at you, oh, she's beautiful enough. She qualifies. Sex. You know what I'm saying? After that, then it's the details come into play, and I'll answer that later. But I would say first, initially, high value guys, they don't look to date to marry. They don't look at marriage first. If anything, with the marriage laws and stuff like that, they really don't. You know what I mean?
Try to avoid gold diggers.
Yeah. They really don't look at women to marry first. They kind of more look to date and to see what she's about and then go into the long-term stuff. But as far as, I'll tell you where you're kind of right at. As far as so higher value guys, what they do is they look to disqualify girls, right? Because lower value guys, they looking for something to qualify. So it's like everything kind of qualifies because they don't have a lot of options. So it's like whatever comes, I'll take you. You know what I mean? Because they're lower status. Higher status guys, they got options. So all of the girls will most likely qualify for sex, but only a few will qualify for commitment, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
The lower value guys, he trying to take whatever he could get. So like they all qualify for sex, commitment, whatever. So I get what you're saying on that. So what's some of the qualities that makes a woman worthy of a high value guy?
One that has her head screwed on properly.
Okay, explain that.
How do I put that into words? I guess someone that's nice, kind of has her own path, but then like instead of changing her path, their paths can like merge.
Okay.
Kind of thing. Probably someone that's smart, can think for themselves.
Smart, think for themselves.
You know?
Okay.
Like, I don't want to have a conversation with a wall. I would assume someone wouldn't want to have a conversation with a wall as well.
Okay. I mean, when it comes to guys, I'll be honest with you. Like, how many millionaires do you see with like 18 dumb bimbos on a yacht that don't know nothing? They're 18, they're 19, they're 20. They're like, they don't know anything, but they're like chilling with these rich guys, having a good time. Like, it's not a priority for a guy. Like, you ladies being intelligent and being smart or being educated, that's not a priority. That's like down there. Yeah, it's up there for some guys, and all guys is not the same. But generally speaking, we're going to go by beauty first, and then, you know, other things, and then intelligence is like kind of
Yeah.
below.
Yeah.
But yeah, I get what
Still
you're
has to,
saying.
like present herself like a lady too.
Okay. All right, so pretty, let's just move right along. So you said you agree with everything Dally said.
Yeah. She's doing wonderfully.
So, Crystal, would you say you qualify for a high value guy? Are you worthy of a high value guy?
I like
And
to
this-
think so.
Okay, cool. You like to think so. All right, good. And this question kind of stemmed from Dally, so you kind of bring this question on. And because I didn't write this down. Jaslyn, same question. What makes a girl worthy of a high value guy?
Well, I think it's based mostly on your values and morals, how you were brought up as well. Like, that all plays a part.
Okay. Morals, values. What type of values would make the girl worthy of a high value guy?
What type of values?
Yeah. I want you ladies to speak in detail. She's like,
It's
yeah,
your
it was hard
turn,
for me too.
What type of values? I guess I'd have to. Oh my God. It's hot.
Think about the high value. So I'll explain it another way for you. Right?
Okay.
Think about your son. You have a son?
Daughter.
You have a daughter. Think about if you had a son, right? If you had a son and you raised this kid, you know, you raised him through all of, you know, elementary,
Yeah.
middle school, high school. You seen him go off to college. He became a doctor. He was a surgeon, a brain surgeon. He's making he's making $500,000 a year. He's that guy, right? What type of woman would you want your son to be dating? So those are the values I mean. So think about that.
Okay.
So what are those values?
I just like pictured my son opening somebody's head up. No, then I would have to go with a female that is consistent, caring, always caring. I feel like that plays a big part. You have to have a good heart, just a kindness is not everything, but it plays a very big part, at least in my
So
life.
caring, good heart. Okay, what else?
independent but also dependable.
Independent and dependable,
Like-
that doesn't go together.
I know. Well, as in
Oxymoron. It's like big
as
little.
far as
It's like smart dumb.
as far as like, okay, my son, she lets herself get taken care of, but as far as, God forbid something happens to him, she can also be counted on.
Okay. I see how you explained it.
Yeah.
So you want a woman that is self-sufficient enough for your son that if things go wrong, she could handle
Yeah.
some stuff around in the house or,
Like myself,
their relationship.
if I'm in let's say a long-term relationship currently, and, he carries the weight, let's say financially,
Yeah.
if things were to turn around, I would be able to
So
also.
if he get into an accident, he paralyzed, you gonna take care of
I
that
gotta
nigga?
take care of him,
You're not gonna leave him?
No.
Mm.
That's where kind and careness and kind-heartedness comes into play. No.
Easy.
No.
Yes. If your nigga, you done left a nigga that wasn't making enough. He couldn't get another job in the area that you
Oh
wanted,
my
and you left that
God.
nigga. So you mean to tell me if the nigga lost his
But
legs?
this was recent. Like if
So you
I'm telling,
changed already?
no, I'm telling you, if I have
Baby
You-
girl, just be real.
no, if I
It's
have
just-
plus 5 years with you, at least
I'll
plus
say
5
this.
years.
if my daughter was with a nigga and the nigga lost his legs, baby girl, move on. That's what I would advise her to do. Because at the end of the day, it's very simple. Like, we're all put on this world to do a multitude of things, but a man has a role and a woman has a role. A man's role is protecting, providing, and giving my daughter and the woman security. You know what I mean? So if he can no longer do that, right? Now, it's of course, if you guys are in a relationship for X amount of years, I got kids together, the nigga loses legs, all right, stick with him. But, if it's like a few
No,
months
yeah, that's
like
what I'm
how
saying
you were,
in that
then
case.
it's much different. But, yeah, I get what you're saying. Anyways, answer the question, though. Well, actually, I think you kind of answered it.
Yeah.
So, last thing. Do you think you're worthy of a high-value guy?
I could be, yes.
Could be.
Yes.
Could, should, and would are words that
Should
I
not
don't
be
get
used.
along with.
Okay.
So, what is?
What is what?
What is? Like, are you worthy of a
Oh,
high-value
yeah.
guy or not?
Yeah,
You
I
think you are?
consider myself worthy.
Okay, cool. So Dally was down to earth. She was like, you know what, Cooley, I don't think so. So I respect the no fugazi on that. Crystal, you was honest and you were honest too. So I respect that as well. So we're not even going to get into my questions. We're actually going to go right off a Dally question. So we're going to reverse it, right? You good? But so you started first, right? Yeah, you did. We did start with you. So we're going to start with you, Jaslyn. Do you consider yourself a high-value woman? And what constitutes a high-value woman?
Dios.
Dally like, dang, this nigga.
Yeah.
You started this, Dally. Don't blame it on me.
it.
Do I consider myself a
Yes.
high
Do you
value?
consider yourself a high-value woman? Yes or no? And then what constitutes a high-value woman?
High value woman as in like monetariamente? Like, I don't know, my English, it just left.
One thirty, mera. We need a one. What did you just say?
Monetariamente, o sea,
So think about it, right?
thank
You
you.
just gave your answer to the high value guy, pretty much. Like, a woman, is she what qualifies the woman to qualify for a high value guy? And, do you qualify for a high value guy? So now the question is a little bit different, but similar, right? So the question is, do you consider yourself a high value woman? And then what do you think constitutes a high value woman?
So probably think of it like if you were a dude looking for a high value woman, what would you look for?
Yeah, if you were a guy and you were looking for a woman of value, what would you look for? So first, are you a high value woman? That's a yes or no question. Yes or no?
Like halfway there.
Okay. Now,
Yeah.
so you say yeah?
Yeah,
Yes or no? Okay, so it's yes.
yes.
And then next question is, what constitutes a high value woman? What do you think makes a woman high value?
Just I don't know, the life that she lives in general, the way she carries herself, the people that she surrounds herself with.
Life she lives, people that she surrounds herself with. You could do a little bit better than that. Come on. You're 28 years old.
Boys.
That's not really anything. So what constitutes a high value woman? Because everyone could be, surround themselves by good people, or you get what I'm saying? So give me some stuff, some tangible stuff. What constitutes a high value woman? What do you think?
A woman that is like a studied woman.
A
Una
studied
mujer
woman.
estudiada, yes.
Okay, so meaning people study her.
No, like she went to,
She's educated.
she's educated.
She's educated.
She's a
Okay.
studied woman, yeah.
All right, so educated woman. What else?
A woman that's like that I don't want to say that she was brought up with in a good home,
No, say it.
because even the most broken people have came from a good family, but
No, I don't agree with that.
some people,
You said even the most broken people came from a good family?
yeah. Like you could have
Usually-
everything in a home. Your parents can raise you with the best beliefs,
And you could still be broken.
and you can still be broken because
Yeah, I
that
get what you're
doesn't
saying.
fulfill a
Yeah, but
person completely.
Statistics show that when you're raised correctly,
Yeah.
right? You're not going to be shooting up schools. You're not going to be selling drugs. You're not going to be doing degenerate behavior.
Mm-hmm.
So I would disagree with that. But all right, but finish up. So what else constitutes a high value woman?
That's it.
All right, I'll move right along. All right.
I'm like,
Blame Dally for it. Crystal, you up
Oh.
next. I have fun questions for y'all, but hey, Crystal,
have to
so
continue with
we'll move on after this though. So are you a high value woman? Yes or no?
I like to think so.
Okay, cool. And what constitutes a high value woman?
If I was a guy, I would look for someone who's beautiful, funny, can cook, is willing to take care of me, kind of thing, but not baby me. Just kind of would be there for me in my corner.
Okay, so beautiful, good personality, funny, can cook, do things around the house,
Yeah.
and then a woman that could depend on him.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. What else? Anything else, or that's it?
Gets along with family and friends.
Okay,
I'm not
Cool.
trying to have the drama.
not trying to be with the drama.
Mhm.
Dally, so you answered it. Okay, Dally, what about you? Do you consider yourself a high value woman? Yes or no?
I don't know what I would consider myself. I've never thought about that, honestly.
Yeah.
I'll have to come back to that. But I do know, what I think would.
I'm sorry, Mike, is she loud enough? She,
Your voice is just.
my voice is loud. Yeah, I'm speaking louder.
Oh, okay.
If you ladies you could speak a little louder.
I just don't want to be yelling into it and then you go to edit it and you're like,
Yeah, nah, you're fine. You can.
no, I think what would qualify somebody or some woman to be a high value woman is somebody who, first off, has her she has her shit together. She's
Yeah.
got a good job. She is not over here just with I don't want to say she's not over here with a bunch of drama, a bunch of just uncertainties.
Mhm.
She has her career. She's succeeding at her career. She's making good money. She can take care of herself until that right person comes along that she is willing to allow to take care of her.
Okay.
A high value woman can be somebody who is I like I said, that's really a personal preference. I think to me, a high value woman needs to be, strong. She can be the leader of the pack if she needs to be. She can for whoever may be in her pack or
Yeah.
she's on her own. She can do what she needs to do. She can.
So do you use her? Because I'm trying to make sense of it. Are you saying that she needs to be self-sufficient enough so that if things go wrong, people can rely on her, or what?
No,
or she just needs to, or she could be the actual leader of the pack.
No, like I guess, for instance, the way I think about it is, I mean, I have a lot of guys, that I just know from like back home or just that I've met on the road. They're like, hey, like, we've been following you since we met, just keeping up with what you do. And like, I'm just really impressed with what you do. I'm really impressed that, you're out here, you got your own stuff. You're out here making your own money. You're doing your own thing. I mean, you're out here, doing the damn thing. And it's like, okay. So to me, that tells me that like those people look at you as like a high value person because you're, maybe to them you're independent, you are successful.
There's no such thing as a high value woman. No such thing at all. Beyonce, not high value. Oprah, not high value. My mom, not high value. I'm speaking about high value in a sexual marketplace. I'm not speaking about human value, right? Because we all are valuable in the eyes of the Lord and in the eyes of one another in some sense. You get what I'm saying? Like we all have value to bring to the world. So I'm not talking about that. My mom is valuable because she brought me to the world. But I'm speaking about in a dating marketplace, sexual marketplace, women, there's no such thing as a high value woman. The reason why is because women are born with their value. Make sense? So since you are born with value, then where does the high value come from, right? So once you turn 18, the world is your oyster in a sexual marketplace, the dating world, meaning that you have a lot of options. Crystal, you're 25. I'm sure you got guys in your DMs want to fly you out, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah. Here's where I'm going with this, right? So since women are born with their value, their sexual value, meaning that once you turn 18, the world's your oyster. You could date up. You could date anybody you want, and you're going to have guys after you. Jaslyn, I'm sure you got guys in your DMs that be doing the most as well, right? So since you have these options, and think about it, you have these options and you didn't have to work for it. Like you literally just exist, and these guys want to fly you out, right? Like, Crystal, what did you accomplish to get flown out? I'm sure you did things in your personal life, right? But like, what value have you brought to the world to have someone to fly you out or to do this and to give you all these type of offers? You haven't really done much. You just existed because you're beautiful. Get what I'm saying? All of you ladies are beautiful, so you're gonna have options, right? So since you already have options and you're born with your value, then what's the level, right? So you could get an education. Okay, cool. You got an education. Well, guys, we really don't care about how educated you are, right? So you could get a good job and be making over $100,000, $200,000 a year. But guys, we really don't care about how much money you're making. And then actually, if you're making $200,000 a year, then you're only going to want to date a guy that's making the same or above anyway, because girls really don't want to date down. So then you actually lower your options, if that makes sense. Mm-hmm. So that's my perspective of it. Now, to get into it deeper, I think the only way a woman can be deemed high value is if she gets a high value guy, right? Now, let's correlate it, right? So women are born with their value. They have options. So she's a valuable woman with a whole lot of options. Men are born without any value, empty slate. And we're fighting with everyone to become a high value guy and to become a man of status, right? So when a man works on himself, because all you ladies are attracted to educated men that has money and status, you're attracted to these traits, which then if those guys meet those standards, he becomes higher value. Make sense? So if he becomes higher value, and then if the girl that has innate value, if she marries this guy and they get into a relationship, then she is now a higher value woman. Make sense? So I think a woman, this is just my opinion and my perspective, but looking at it logical in a dating market field, I think a woman only becomes high value when she marries or gets commitment from a high value man, because you already have value.